Hello and welcome back to the midweek wind down. I'm your host, James Johnston.
And I'm Joel Val.
And this week we're going to be talking all about our recent film that we've just done, our PRP. But to join us, we've got Matthew Woodcock and Paul Whitehead.
I'll do.
Yeah, Joel, do you want to talk us through what our film was a bit about?
Well, it was
Sorry, before I start, I'll put a link to the film in the description. If you've not seen the film, you might want to go watch that first before listening to this podcast.
Watch it first. Watch it first. Well, before I talk about the film, let's just go through the roles.
Yeah.
So, Matty was the director. Paul produced it. I acted in it. And James, you edited it.
Yeah, I was
And
the
then we
editor.
all wrote and devised it. It was a project that we started in start of October.
Yeah,
as a group?
we started as a group back in October. I'd kind of originally started piecing together ideas for it at the end of second year. So this is a film that's been sort of more than 6 months in the making, not about 9 or something. Sorry, before we go on to the film, last week, because it was just me and Joel, we did a bit of you getting to know us. Now we thought we'd put it to the test and see who knows who better, didn't we, Joel?
We did. And we've sent the questions to Matty and Paul to ask. So who wants to start? Do you want to start or shall I start?
We'll do one at a time. So we'll do one of your questions, then one of mine.
Okay, right. Let Matty get him up.
Yeah,
He's not come prepared.
Right, I'm ready now. I'm ready.
Right, I'm going to ask the first one to James then.
So when's Joel's birthday, James?
Joel's birthday is the 24th of June, 1998.
Correct.
Boosh.
Isn't it? Right, go on, Paul. What's my one?
What's the name of my hometown?
That was me writing it. So what's my hometown?
Dudley.
What's Paul's hometown? Close enough.
Is that a point?
Technically, I'm from Dudley.
I'm taking it. That's a point. Do you want to say the actual answer, or you?
I was thinking more Hell's Owen, but Dudley's probably the closest sort of.
It's all
big
the same.
place.
It's all the same.
Dudley.
Right, go ahead, Matty.
Where would Joel like to go on holiday the most?
Ooh.
Ooh.
And I may have already been there. You never know. Might want to go back.
Napa.
No. New York. It was New
okay.
York.
Napa.
As when he said he's already been there, I was like, where do I know that Joel's been on holiday? Well, I mean, I know he's been Napa and he had a great time. Go on, Paul.
Right, go ahead, Paul.
What's James's middle name?
Alexander.
Yes, lad.
Easy, mate. 2-1.
My questions are quite easy. Mine are a lot nicer than yours have been, apparently.
You should probably get this next one. What is Joel's go-to beer?
It used to be Heineken, but you stopped doing that because you said it got you too drunk too quickly.
Yeah, correct. So it's,
Terrible
what is it then? What is it then?
Are we talking if you've got to buy it or no price involved?
Just if we're in a pub.
Foster's?
Correct.
Hey.
He's done it.
That's
Right,
my
go ahead, Paul.
go-to as well, to be fair. That's why I was such good
It's the most, I think it's yours as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
You-
I don't mind if
yeah.
Right. Over New Year's, my mum said, what beers do you want me to get in? I said, I'll just get Foster's in. And
I wouldn't drink out of can.
I got the shit ripped out of me for
Yeah,
having
that is
Foster's.
bad out of can.
Foster's is great out of can.
It's got to be Stella or something like that. Stella bottles.
Oh, did you beat your wife as well, do you?
Hey,
Hey?
not on camera. Stop that.
Go on, Paul, next question.
What's the make and model of James's car?
You know that car that we drove here tonight in and you've had countless lifts in?
I know it's a Citroen.
Nope.
Oh, fuck it. Well then.
I was going to change. Yeah, I was going to change. Can you even get them?
What is it?
Maybe it's a Renault Clio.
Oh, wait, please.
There's-
It is.
Yeah.
See, Matty knows more about my car and he's been in it about twice.
Parking sensors.
It does. Fancy man.
I'm just a DJ in your car.
Go on, Paul, give us the next one. No, that
No,
was
it's
one for
mine.
you. Go on, Matty, give me mine next.
So, does Joel have any siblings? If so, what are their names?
Yeah, you've got one older brother called Connor.
Correct. That was quite easy, to be
Yeah,
fair.
that was an easy one.
All right, Joel. What's the name of James's mum, dad, and sister?
See, I went for the full family.
You got Jan.
Yep. Joel.
Oh shit, your sister's gonna watch this as well.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, David.
Yeah. That's not my sister's name. That's
Sister's
my
No,
dad's
it's not.
name.
That's his dad's name. That's his dad's name. Oh no. In fact, I've never met your sister.
Not met
so
her, no.
Not good enough.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
My sister's name is Katie.
Of course it is.
And there was a bonus one on that. Do you know all of their titles? Like, I'm Mr. James Johnston.
You got Miss Jan Smart.
No, that's the one I was wondering if you know. My mum's a doctor.
Cool.
My mum's Dr. Jan Smart. Her literal name is Dr. Smart.
Dr. Smart.
Dr. Smart.
Good.
Right, last one.
Last question. Is that me?
Yeah.
All right. What was the name of Joel's first dog?
And the only reason I've asked this question is because you put him in the film we're about to talk about, and he never got credited.
Oh, have you had a dog before your current one?
Yeah. He's in the film.
I didn't know that was your dog. I assumed that was like an uncle's dog.
Nah, my dog.
Barkley Senior.
No, Danny the dog.
Danny the dog.
Danny the dog.
Did you name that?
Days.
What?
Did you name that?
No,
Okay.
he was pre-named. I named my current dog, which is one big shit show.
Oh, see, I love your dog's name.
No, but why I named him
What
is a
is
bit of
it?
a shit show. He's called Barkley.
Barkley.
And this is when Ross Barkley was at Everton.
Oh, wow.
See,
And,
I always assumed it's just because dogs bark.
Well, that's what I tell people.
I had a rabbit once called Robert Rabbit.
Robert.
It jumped over a
Well, what,
fence.
Robert the Rabbit?
It was actually
Or just
just Robert Rabbit.
His last name was Rabbit.
This is a great story. So when we bought him, we thought he was a rabbit, and he was actually a hare, and he jumped over our garden fence and ran off one day. Never saw him again.
As you do.
See you, Rob.
Oh my gosh. Paul, have you got one more question, or
Yeah, he's
is that
got-
all?
No, you got one more.
You should have one more.
Bear with me.
I think I can remember what it is.
Oh, what's James's date of birth?
Oh yeah.
24th of October.
What year?
92.
96.
Yes, lad.
Oh.
I thought Oliver Hill was born in 96.
What year is he born
He's
in?
not. I'm older than him. He's born 5th of August.
Yeah, he
98.
is. Yeah.
Oh, what a babby.
Oh, he's younger than me.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so short.
But old bunch.
Oh, that's quite a nice segue onto our film because basically, I completely forgotten we'd done this in our film. What?
I just realised it's Wilkinson Hill. I'm really sorry.
Oh, Oliver Wilkinson Hill.
Hilkinson will.
Wilkinson Will. We have Oliver was in our film, and there's a part where in one scene he's one of the characters' housemates' boyfriends, and that's fine. And then the next scene, Joel's character was talking to her, and he's like, "Oh, does he play rugby? Yeah." And then like we played off the whole joke of Joel's character. Oh, is he not a bit, like that? Everyone thinks, oh, he's saying he's gay, and he's like, no, I meant short. It's a lot funnier in the film, trust me.
Just say, by this point, though, you should have really watched the film.
Yeah,
Like,
you'll know exactly what we're on about.
We have told them.
You should.
But so we did this, we filmed it. Oliver knew that he was in his scene, hadn't got a clue about this scene afterwards, and he was fuming afterwards when he found out
Was it?
we'd got a joke about him being
No, I
short.
remember
in
him
it.
coming up to me after like the whole premiere kind of thing that night, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't know that was in there," but I remember he talking to me and you. And me and you were steaming, so we didn't, I don't think we caught on to the fact that he was actually like fuming. But
Mate, I saw Claire before she even clicked onto the joke. She was just like, she just started laughing at the joke, and then afterwards she was like, "Oh wait, did he know they were actually talking about
I'd
that?"
never thought about that once because we wrote the joke, and then I'm pretty sure it was you. Was like, "Oh, Oliver will be perfect for this part."
Yeah.
He was all right. He didn't drop me in it right there and then.
Poor lad, bless him. But yeah, so because originally we'd got you and me, we'd got the idea for this film. We were like, I'd sort of got an idea of what it would be. I'd always kind of had you playing the lead in it. Literally on the sort of networking day, Paul, you were the first person to sign on. Like you
I was.
approached us, you were like, "What are you guys doing?" We explained it. You're like, "I love that. I'll happily do that. I'll happily produce that." And we had a fourth member to the group who we won't name and we won't out. But we were
why
set.
not? Why not? Just do it.
All right, Ryan Taylor. We were all set. We were ready to start filming, going into pre-production, And literally a day or two before groups had to be in, he was like, I'm really sorry, guys. I've just had an idea that I have to do. So he completely dropped us in it, dropped out the group, and we, low-key, last minute sort of had to bring Matty in on the production.
Oh.
It wasn't like
And-
that, was it?
I was going to go on saying, you smashed it as director.
well.
Like,
Thank you.
you were very vocal in the devising and writing of it. Like, it would have been a very different film had you not been in it. And I think it definitely benefited from your cinematography and your idea. Like, and I think one thing that was nice about you was you challenged me on ideas. Like, you weren't a yes man. I'm not saying Ryan would have been, but you very much, I felt, challenged me and were like, if you didn't think something was right, you said it, called me out on it.
Yeah,
and the film
100%.
benefited a lot from that, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
There was a lot of discussion about even the littlest of things, and I feel like we benefited from
There's
that.
always come to agreement. There was no argument.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like, it ran so smooth.
Like, it never had to go any further than a quick
Yeah.
10-minute conversation to the
It's
point
because
where
I
we
don't
realised.
I don't feel like you ever said that won't work. And then when I was like, oh, but why not? And you never gave reasons why I wasn't like, yeah, fair enough. Like, because obviously you've all seen this film now. The ending's quite serious. It's quite dramatic. Originally, I'd got an outtake in the credits, and it's funny. It's hilarious. It is really funny. But Matty just came and he was like, we can't put it in because it just, like, what? Do you want to tell them why I had to go?
I think one of the biggest things in this project for us was definitely ethics, because the way the subjects we were dealing with and stuff. And
It was a fine line with everything we could do.
yeah, the amount of research we all put in individually was just next level. It's the most I've ever looked into. It was really interesting, actually. But it sort of it got to a point where we were wanting to inform our audience and show them that there's another way around. Obviously, the subject matter. I won't ruin it, just in case you are.
We'll talk about it soon anyway, just for the people who don't want to watch the film, because my mum and dad still haven't watched. Well, my mum's watched, my dad still hasn't. He won't watch it. But,
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
Yeah, his mum said, like, kind of what it did to her. And what was the reason he gave?
he was too old and emotional.
And he couldn't handle it.
Well, it's not a bad reason, to be fair.
No, to be fair, my mum said that. She was like, loved your film, it was really good, but I think if it had been you in Joel's role, I couldn't have watched it.
My dad's so slow he wouldn't have got the plot. He would have gone, is this a thriller or what? No.
Yeah, carry on, Matty.
So I think the last bit was very funny, and it sort of brought a bit of lightness to the piece. But at the end of the day, we agreed on a whole that it's something that you can't make light of, the situation that we were dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be. The reason we wanted to make people laugh before we made them cry is because it is such a hard-hitting subject, and it's one of the things you can overlook. But it's actually a really serious subject that we need to address.
Yeah, no, the big, like, one that you mentioned to me, which was, I think, the final straw. Not final straw, because that sounds bad, but, like, the big one that I was like, yeah, we need to take it out, was you said it almost felt like we were mocking a very serious subject matter, which we just covered, and that was a big one.
Yeah,
I think the main thing I was coming from wanting to put it in wasn't so much like, haha, this is funny. I think it was just because we all had so much fun on set. Like, this is my favourite project I've ever worked on.
Loved it, man.
Yeah, we had an absolute, like, ball on set. Everyone really got on really well, and I kind of just wanted to put that across to the audience a bit, just because it wasn't, oh, someone fluffed. It was you messing around on set and making everyone laugh.
I think as well, the reason, although what we covered was such a serious topic, we knew what we were doing was gonna be good. Like, I think as soon as the script was sorted and we got our cast sorted, like, because we cast based on people we basically made roles based on people we wanted in the cast.
Like,
so
we
had
wrote our characters.
we had Harry, we had Saoirse, we had Jess. Jess was the only person we had to source from anywhere else, but she smashed it anyway.
Yeah.
But then Harry, from the beginning, we said every line that we write for him has to be written for Harry. Like, it has to be like the word bruv and all that. Things that you don't expect that lad to say, he'll say anyway.
What?
And then obviously Saoirse was just, we knew she was capable of.
I've said this to a few
anything,
people.
so.
It's like, we didn't really, like, we wrote a script, but we always said to Harry, like, if you want to say it a different way, go for it. We kind of just set the cameras rolling and let Harry loose on stage, and he smashed it. Like, he's just a funny guy, just
That's
being
it,
him.
yeah.
I think improvise it.
Take two.
Give me some up there.
I think you've had enough.
I think
Improvisation.
That's the one. Cheers, Paul. Was always a massive part of my plans as director, because I wanted the characters to give truth. And one of the things we noticed throughout the process is a lot of people were posting on Instagram what they were doing with their PRPs, and they looked amazing aesthetically, but we wanted to create something more raw and real with the characters to show our story, rather than it being, like with all the cinematography that was going on. Albeit most of it in the screenings, all of it was beautiful, but we sort of thought our approach, going for a more mockumentary style, would benefit the characters. And the story.
Because we kept it so secret, watching it back.
Did we, Paul? Did we keep it that secret?
I don't know, I think I told everyone.
I feel like we all told way too many people.
I'll take that back. Tasha Bloom, I basically told her the whole plot, but anyway, that was one person, give me that. No, when we were watching it back, looking around, people were laughing even when it was the serious bit, because they thought it was a joke. And then I think when it was the reveal, everyone was just...
That was it, because I said...
the last laugh. When you heard Harry screaming in the background, people were still laughing until that pull back and reveal of Joel's character. I think everyone was just like, what?
There was an atmosphere you could feel in the screening, which I just loved. It was like... Because this was one thing I was worried about. I knew we'd got a solid ending, like having edited and seen it and like proper worked on it. I knew our ending was good. I was just worried people wouldn't find it as funny as maybe we had, or maybe the jokes wouldn't land. But people were loving it.
Watching it back, I watched it as if it was the first time. I loved it. It was
like, people laughed a lot more than I thought they would, which I was like, thank goodness. But then, like you said, once it got to that point, the tension in the room, you felt almost everyone be like, oh gosh, I can't laugh anymore. And that whole feeling was just...
Well, that was it. I was panicking up until that point, because I thought, like, even in the scenes where we were trying to hint at maybe my character not being 100%, they were still, obviously, because, Harry was hilarious the entire way, people were still laughing. I was panicking at the end. I was like, are people going to find him so funny to the point where they're still laughing by the end and not get the actual ending? But then people were laughing up until the point where it faded to black and then came up, and it just... I think, who's the first person?
The first one.
The first person you see upset, and then the room just went silent. And like, there was someone from behind us who had to leave the room because they got that upset. That's to walk out.
There's quite a few people who I got messages off saying, like, really well done. You handled it really well. I've been through similar subjects, and I think you did it justice, which for me was a massive thing.
Yeah.
I thought, like, well, for all of us, but it's I think when you sort of get that I don't know, what would you...
Response.
Yeah, I just think...
Well, just that approval.
Yeah.
Like, because we knew from the beginning we were covering such a sensitive topic, and we were told from the start there's such a fine line between what can be perceived as real and kind of mocking. And that's one thing we didn't want to do. We wanted to show it as real as possible, and no one's complained. Everyone's kind of been...
That was one thing that someone said to us. I don't know if we've told you guys about this yet. So, partway through the devising process and discussing it, our tutor suggested the idea of almost releasing it so some people would think it was a real documentary, like it wasn't mockumentary. One of the people who goes to our uni, their friends saw Joel afterwards and was like, "What? I thought he killed himself." They were under the illusion that it was almost a real documentary. So we kind of nailed the mockumentary format, basically.
I mean, that's pretty bad that people thought we'd put it out there, though.
It was all ethical.
I'm not a scientist.
Has it? I mean, well, I suppose that's...
I just thought it was because I'm so white. They thought I was just a walking
ghost.
My best mate watched it from home, and out of curiosity, I asked him. Because he said, "Oh, fantastic actors, message, everything." But then, out of curiosity, I went back to the aim of the question. I went, "Did you notice it?" I went, "Did you notice him throughout?" And he noticed him. He noticed him deteriorated.
Well, someone said that to you in the pub straight after, didn't they?
Yeah, there was a certain point where they could see it coming, which I think is nice, because that's kind of what we were going for.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, it would have just been... If people hadn't have realised any kind of deterioration, it would have been a funny... Oh, right.
I think we didn't want it to feel like it just came out of nowhere.
That was the...
Like, all the way through, you could see it from when you were naked. There's shots of you naked. It wasn't just shot, Joel's depressed. It was literally, there was reasons behind it, like you saw him drinking.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that...
That's it, but we did say right from the start, the signs, we wanted them to be minimal, because what was the actual question was...
Do people notice the signs of depression, brackets in men?
Yeah,
like
that's the thing I think that's the thing we targeted the most. out of it all is because, like, is it like, what was it, like 73% of people who commit suicide under a certain age are men?
75.
75.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's like,
three
because they
and
don't,
four.
and a lot of them is because, remember, you found the research of a certain percentage of people just won't talk out about it, won't say anything.
Yeah.
So we didn't want it to be obvious because it's not obvious in real life. Like, it's not, and that's why we wanted to make it so real. And that's why we wanted to show, we obviously like research symptoms, stuff like that, and we wanted to show them throughout, but not in your face.
Yeah.
I mean, people even laughed at the bit where Joel, linking back to the bit with Oliver, people were still laughing.
Yeah.
People, when you, because that was a bit you wanted to feel bad about.
No,
it. People still laughed, and it's like, and we were inside, I bet all four of them.
Yeah.
I myself, I was like, no, he's actually really feeling
I was
bad.
going to say, like,
Yeah.
some people did laugh, but I kind of, I don't know if it's just because I knew what the scene was, but I got a feeling that scene
Yeah.
did kind of what it meant to, if people went, ha, oh, maybe I shouldn't be laughing at that.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
something's
I think
going on.
the message at the end was, the whole overall question was, can you notice the signs of them? I think with what we created, it was like people finish the film and then go, they might want to watch it again. 'Cause
Yeah.
then you will realise.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people have done. I know people who have watched it 3 times now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, and it could, just because, like, I know, well, one of the main people who's done it is my girlfriend, so it's one of them, like, I think,
She might be trying to tell you something like
maybe. But yeah, so she's watched it a few times now. She said it makes her cry as much as it did on the night, because you were sat next to me when
Yeah.
she was watching it, and she was in tears
He
from.
was crying halfway through the film after us.
Yeah.
Right. But sorry, back to the other one. It was
yeah, one of them, it happened.
it was it's 75%. The 75% statistic is successful. It's not the same amount. It's just that men are more successful with suicide because, well, I don't know. But, you
Yeah.
know, something like
Because that's where this whole kind of project came from, was towards the end of last year. Teachers were saying, like, maybe start thinking about your PRP, what it's going to be next year. And I can't remember who said it, but someone said they'd heard somewhere that while you can do anything, really it should have a message, and the films that have a message do better and get better grades. So it was literally a case of I sat down, I was like, right, well, what issues in the world are important to me today?
Mhm.
And one that I settled on very quickly, because it was such an obvious one, was just the rate of suicide in men, particularly under 30 or 45, I think it is, those statistics. And so, yeah, like, I think my original plan was, I'd always got Joel as my lead, but rather than focusing on a group of people, it was originally going to be just Joel played. Have you seen the In-Betweeners film?
yes.
Yeah.
You know Russell, the character that's like, oh, can I borrow a beer off you? Nope, absolutely, no worries, no problem, mate. Richard, not
Richard.
Russell, sorry.
Russell.
Richard. I don't know where I got Russell from.
Russell.
But yeah, the idea was,
Russell.
Who calls himself Russell?
I know a lad called Russell that I went to high school with.
Oh God.
But yeah, that was my idea. Joel would play a character very similar to him. Like, he would be starting uni, he'd be trying to go to all these events and be like, "Hi, you right, guys? Oh, you're busy? No problem, no funny." Like, he'd put up this whole, "No, it's fine, I'm cool, everything's good with me." And then you'd see him get back to his room at maybe the end of the week or the end of the day and just drop this facade, realise how hard the start of uni's been for him, and he would then kill himself. But I think we got a such better product than that,
That
because
sounds, that's no offense, like, that sounds so predictable.
yeah, that's the thing. I think it would have been a lot more obvious because you're only following one person on a group.
Whereas
And I think the big problem I would have had with that is, and it was a problem we had to discuss a lot, is what do you do about showing the actual suicide and the actual body? That was another thing, because like we were,
It more.
yeah,
Like, you laid it more.
yeah, because you could focus on other people. It wasn't as obvious, and we could be on other people while it happened. Because that was the thing I said to my mum after she watched it. I was like, "Oh, so do you know how he killed himself?" And she went, "Oh, hadn't thought about that. I kind of thought maybe it was this." And I was like, "Well, you sat there wondering."
Because if you come out of that film and that's the question you've got, then we've not.
You've kind of missed the point of the film.
Like, the point
it's not
is
how he killed himself. It's the fact of he's killed himself.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how he's done it. He's gone. He's not coming back.
That's one. Even
that, like you said, if your mum's thinking that, it just shows it's made a big
what we've wanted.
more
Yeah.
effective.
it was like, even if anyone, we said this part way through the writing process, if anyone asked us, we don't have an answer. We never actually fully decided how he did it, because it's not important how he did it. It's the fact that he did it.
Definitely.
No, we've had a lot of we've had no negative feedback. Well, we get marked soon, so
yeah,
there's
the odd.
we'll see then.
There's the odd thing like as editors because I've seen it so many times. I'm like that could have been crisper, that could have been cleaner. But yeah, I'm really happy with it, and it's rare that I finish a piece of work and I'm like, this is so good, and I'm really proud to show people.
But yeah, that's one thing that I've said. Like I know a lot of people like to throw all their uni work over like Facebook and stuff like that, but I've never done it. There's never anything that I've done myself that I've been that proud of at uni so far. But this was the one. Like as soon as we'd finished, it was. I messaged you that day. I was like, "Is it on Facebook yet?" Because I just want to show it off because I think we did a really good job, especially considering we didn't. I wouldn't say from the filming you don't get loads of time because obviously deadlines are so short as it is, especially when you've got to edit the full thing as well. And there's only one person editing it. Like for the amount of time we had. And no budget, I think we did a great job. I think we've done exactly what we wanted to get.
You said that about budget. Even if we'd had a budget, I don't really know
what needed it. No,
I don't know what more we would have done.
We went into this writing process of knowing we don't have a budget.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe if we were to do it again and someone said, "Oh, here's £300," we might think of a different place to film it. Or
I think the big. Go on, what were you saying,
I was going to say no, we didn't do it blind. Obviously we didn't have to pay for the cameras or anything, which we were lucky with. All the lighting equipment, everything, sound, and so that definitely helped out. But in terms of
I was just going to say money was never our problem. The only sort of constriction we had was obviously because it's a uni project. It had to be under 20 minutes, and that was a big thing that like we. Came to the edit, I pieced it all together, and the first draft was like 26 minutes. We're like, you can't cut 6 minutes of nowhere, so scenes had to go, which had some really nice moments in, really nice scenes that just didn't drive the story forwards. I think, because I said I might do a like director's or like full cut.
Yeah, my mate wants to see that, by the way. I've said that you had a longer version.
I don't know if I'm going to do one, just because I think what that pushing the time did was it cut, not waffle, but only what's necessary is in there. Like it's a 20-minute film.
Thinking it back, you're right. Cause it's
it forced us not to be too self-indulgent and just put stuff in because we like it.
Because one of the scenes was just a general conversation you'd expect to have at uni about what we're going to eat tonight. Should we have like a group takeaway or something? But then it wasn't that we realised, it was our supervisor pointed out straight away is we go from that scene to a scene of them all in the living room, and that's one of the first times you properly realise, oh, he's really upset. But in the takeaway scene, it's like he's just talking to everyone fine. Like it's a general uni conversation. It's like, how does he go from that to that within the space? So it's not even 5 minutes. Like
the only big thing that makes me sad about cutting that scene was it had got some of the best comedy moments. Like it definitely had the best maybe the second best utilising the camera in the whole film of it. And it was the fact that it had the scene that I think we were most excited to write, because it was literally, we were sat devising. We hadn't I don't think we even started a script document.
Well, it was devised based on an actual conversation we had, wasn't it?
We all sat there, and us being like from different places of the country, we all had a discussion about
orange chips.
Yeah, exactly, orange chips.
Oh, I remember that.
Because I'm from the black country, I said like the best way to have chips is the orange chips. You got a bit of batter on them; they're incredible. And it was a whole conversation of you were saying this.
That night, and actually, like,
I raved to them. My girlfriend, we went and got them, and they were really disappointed. The chippy I usually go to has gone downhill.
You should have seen the state of the fish that he wanted. I'm from a seaside town, and this guy, oh my god.
Food.
But this is what I mean. We're all getting all like that now. We kind of stopped the conversation and went, this is real conversation. Let's put that in the film. So something very similar ended up in an early draft.
It was a very relatable scene, but it was just one of them from where it was to be put in the actual script itself. It didn't make sense to have it where it was. So it's one of them. Yeah. If we'd have filmed it and put it somewhere else, it'd have been looked at and they'd have gone like, oh, that's great. That's exactly what you expect for uni students in a house trying to decide on a takeaway. That's the exact conversation you expect them to have, and people will relate to it. It's just the positioning of where it was in the script that it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, like I feel like the film didn't suffer from that being cut too much. And the other scene we had to cut was it was pure comedy, but it was very funny. That had to be cut. It's going to sound weird when I say it was really funny. The sexual harassment scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because that's not in the film, we will describe what this one is.
Basically, the wrong impression, internet.
It was very similar to like, this one kind of came from the start of Drake and Josh, where like two people will be telling what you think's the same story, and then there's a joke reveal at the end that it's very different. So it'd be two girls sat in their rooms talking to the cameras being interviewed, talking about going on a night out. One girl would be like, yes, you know, it was great, we were all drinking. And then a guy comes up to me and chats me up. Then it cuts to the other girl. And it was disgusting. He was groping her. His hands were all over her. So, you know, I did what anyone would do and went and got him kicked out. Then it cut back to the other girl. Fuming, absolutely livid. There's always got to be that one dickhead that ruins it. So just as I'm hitting off with this really hot guy, she got him kicked out for sexual harassment and stuff like that. Like the idea of different opinions. Yeah, maybe.
that was literally the full
James,
scene.
James,
He's just performed it to camera.
I was going to say, it's funny that I know the lines when I actually wrote them down. Yeah, that had to go because of time, which was a shame. But I think the big thing, which I'm still a bit not upset about, but I think where the film suffered was the post-suicide talking heads, just because of time constraints. I had to be very snappy with the cuts. I couldn't let them breathe. I couldn't let the characters say their lines and then hold their reactions. It had to be their finish line, cut to the next one. Like, we just didn't have time for it, which I think that's the only thing where I'd like to maybe stretch them out a bit longer. But
that tore me apart when I filmed that. Oh my god! Just
you cried on set, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
A few times.
You should be honest. It was Saoirse's talking head, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She
that
smashed those bits.
I've been crying a lot recently actually throughout these PRPs.
It's because they've been good.
They have
literally.
been really good. Like,
Did any of you get to see Imogen's?
No. What
not
was
yet.
it? We were. Oh no, that was it. It sold out,
Oh,
and
so-
I'd got a
yeah.
ticket, but Eleanor Thomas didn't, and because Eleanor Thomas was like, "Oh, I really want to see it," and she's working with her now. I was like, "You should probably go support her and all that." So I let her have my ticket.
I had to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
collect insulin off my dad at the train station.
Both very
that's-
good reasons.
It's not even a lie. I had to go collect
remember when you
insulin.
thought you were making that up.
Do something.
No,
Loads of
genuinely.
people don't believe that you're diabetic.
I didn't.
It's because I'm in such good shape. That's
That
why.
is it. That's probably, yeah.
This was the thing the other day. Like, people didn't believe you till you got one of your pens out and fully had to squirt the insulin at them.
You shouldn't be doing that.
We didn't do it at them.
I was gonna
Kill
say.
someone.
Out me on camera like that. they were out of date though. They were out of date.
But no,
Did you actually squirt them at someone?
No, he
Not
squared
at
it in the
someone,
other
I squirted
direction.
it in just to the grass.
They wouldn't believe him. Had to be done.
Okay, Joe.
What?
You're gonna have your license taken off you.
Oh god.
But no, like, speaking of things that, you know, I wish could have gone in and done that. Like, is there anything that you guys, if you could change one thing about the film other than the lead, what would it be?
That's nasty, that mate. Jesus Christ. No, I know one thing I would have done because I felt like obviously the end, my last bit was I thought it was all right. I thought I did okay on it, but I thought the first take was the best because I genuinely got like there was tears there, but then
I teared up on your first take, to be fair.
yeah,
Like, it was
but then
really good.
But then I missed out. Well, there was stuff that we realised we need to include in it, and it came after that first take, and it was after that where I was like, "Oh God, like, I can't get back to it." But then I said, "Everyone, like, just like leave the room, give me a minute." And I didn't. It wasn't as good as the first one, but I think I got one that was nearly as good. But that'd be my only.
It's the first take that's in the film, though.
Is it?
Yeah, the first take's in the film. And then the bit that we added, I put later on under the pictures. Because the bit we added is you saying,
In the camera. Reaction.
Claire, don't watch this film.
what about you guys?
Oh, wow.
Ooh. See, for me, it'd be the outdoor scene with Harry and Joe. I loved it. I loved the acting. I thought it was quality. It took us quite a few times, didn't it? We had to go through it.
Yeah.
But
Well, Harry got all the characters' names wrong at one point. He made up 2 characters on his own, didn't he?
Yeah.
We were like 8 takes in, and then he just turned around and went, "Oh, I love Mindy and
Caitlin.
Caitlin."
What's Caitlin?
And we were like, Cindy and Sophia, and he was like, "Yeah, them 2." And we were like, "All right, sound."
yeah. I think that was one of them. That, like outside, it was absolutely freezing. It must have been -2 or something, and I think that scene could have been better. And also, one of the things that I really liked about the film was when I was zooming in and capturing the emotion. But with that one, we had to use a prime lens, so because with it having lower aperture, the other one it was just too dark, so use the 24 to 105.
Yeah.
So I'd sort of changed the style of filming for that one, but it was such a powerful scene that I think that we could overlook that. And then James came up with a brilliant idea of cutting it back to Cindy and Sophia.
Yeah.
And then that made it not look so wooden.
Yeah, it helped bring the pace up. Yeah.
By the way,
It was
Thank
quality.
you. What about you, Paul? If you could change one thing about the film,
I wouldn't. I know. No.
Nothing, really.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the best.
Personally,
answer.
I just think everything happens for a reason, isn't it? Just if you look at the piece we got, look at the reception it got. If you could go back and change it,
Yeah.
would it have got the reception it did?
Actually, I changed my answer.
Go on.
We should have got more chips.
We should have
Those
won
chips were so
100%.
good.
They
That's
weren't the
your
best.
fault.
They were quality.
You could have bought.
It's not
You
my
could have
fault.
bought another portion of
it's
chips.
the woman
mate.
in the shop that was fuming with me.
They were
Oh,
She
quality.
was proper nasty to
wait,
me.
just a bit. So Harry on the film was a vegetarian, and then you went to buy the chips, didn't you? Oh, you can't do that. Yeah, so you went and bought the chips, and Harry's a vegetarian, so you were just you were asking simple questions of like, are the chips vegetarian? Because you never know what they're cooked in, and she was just like, she didn't even give you a straight answer. She was like, no, they're chips, and you're like, yeah, but are they vegetarian? They're chips. You're like, but what are you cooking them in?
And then she eventually went vegetable. I went, thank you. It was like, oh. Yeah. But they were stone cold by the end of that shoot.
Yeah,
Well,
and you
but
can
in between, they
you
were.
can tell.
I still ate them. I ain't got
Yeah,
a
he was
problem with
loving
That
it.
was it, because I had to take one and eat it at the end, and then the pause. I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but they were like, I said like, oh, do you notice how long the pause was at the end when I take the chip and went, oh, thanks for everything, mate. The pause was going to be like half that, but I couldn't speak. Like I couldn't chew on it. Like it was that dry. I was like choking on the spot. I was like,
I thought that really paid off as a choice from you. I thought that was an acting choice, like as in you were considering this is the last thing you're ever going to eat, because obviously it's the penultimate scene before you do that. So I reckon you've done yourself injustice there, Joe.
yeah, but now I can't use that excuse. You just outed me on camera, mate. So
You've already outed yourself.
yeah, but I was going to take half the time.
That's one thing we learnt about Harry Thomas on this shoot. That man will eat or drink anything.
Oh, he
because
will.
when it came to the party scene,
that Heineken.
he'd got Heineken keg. That was his
Grim.
thing. And we were like, it's just a prop. It's fine. And all this. We filmed in January, like sort of mid-January. This was a keg that was left over from my birthday, which you all now know.
And the keg says you got to drink it in 30 days.
Yeah.
When was your birthday, James?
The end of October.
There you go.
So this is like a very old keg. No, it's fine. And we said to him, it's just a prop. Don't drink it. It's fine. He went, yeah, no problem. No problem. And of course, he was drinking out of tap. I'm like, Harry, stop it. No, of course, yeah, I'm not. And I was on sound. I was like, Harry, I can hear it coming through the tap, mate. I know you still drink. He's like, oh, sorry, yeah, no worries. I won't drink it anymore.
So we cancelled the shoot and
Yes, we cancelled the shoot.
Yeah,
It was all
risk-
shut down.
risk
Harry then.
assessment.
The film was never made.
No, it's one of them. Like it says, I feel like those drink within 30 days. It's a best before. It's not a use before. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we tell everyone. Yeah. So
Nah, it's fine. Well, he's still alive.
yeah, there was no.
It's gonna take more than some mouldy beer to kill Harry Thomas.
All right,
Let's be
well.
real.
Harry was on the podcast on the first week, wasn't he?
Yeah, he'll be back.
Everyone's seen what a weapon that lad is.
Kill out livers and all that one.
I haven't, no,
Wait,
no,
good weapon or bad weapon?
Bit of both.
no one's they haven't seen him yet. We weren't video for the first week, were we?
I know we weren't.
They've just got this image of Harry in their heads at the moment.
And you can hear Harry's voice. You did not expect him to look the way he does.
No.
So
Yeah, I don't know what I'd say it looks like.
Harry,
I have
innit?
no idea. When
gonna
he goes,
say-
"Wah, bruv," I just don't picture Harry Thomas.
He's just like
I do
a
now.
big bearded student Hagrid. No.
He is a beautiful
He is a
man.
beautiful man. So we got like 20 minutes left of this podcast. Should we
And
just call it
course,
Harry
yeah.
Thomas Appreciation?
Serenade him. It's fantastic.
No, he was definitely, like we said, we wrote our roles for the characters, but we had someone drop out of our role for Cindy, even though we'd wrote it for someone, so we had to hold auditions, and we were a bit worried at one point about this because we had people come in audition, and we were like, you really look the part, but I don't know if you were just nervous, it didn't quite go there.
Yeah.
And it was like, the acting was there, but just didn't look like our idea of Cindy, and we were a bit umming and ahhing. And then we had a girl be like, right, I can't come, but can I send you an audition tape? So yeah, that's fine. And we were literally in our group chat umming and ahhing, and Matty threw in the video that she'd sent, and I think all four of us just went, we found our
I
Cindy.
think-
Like,
I
she
think
looks
that's
the
it.
part.
I was
she
going to say,
acted the
because
part.
I feel like Cindy was the only character where there had to be a look.
She just, in her audition tape, she took it by storm. She just straight up owned it. And then I think a lot of the auditions were really strong pieces, and it was hard to decide who we wanted. But then as soon as Jess came, I was just like, yep, she's the one.
That was it. Especially like this was.
So have you seen this?
Well, this was Jess's first. This is her first time acting in front of a camera, is what she was telling us, and I feel like even from the get go with the audition, like putting a camera in front of herself and just going for it, I think she just nailed it from the get go.
She was very self-aware on camera.
100%. Yeah, I think she nailed it. And then
she just got on with us, didn't she? She was proper relaxed.
I
think that's another thing why it went so well, is because it was a relaxing show.
There was a good atmosphere on set, But like I've said this to a few people, it's like we had a great idea. We wrote a really good script. Like that wasn't the problem. But one thing that I don't think you can undersell is how well the four of you as a cast had such a nice house group dynamic. Like I watched the way you all were together. I was like, I can believe that these people live together and you are friends. And we said one relationship we wanted to put forward and get in there, and they did do it. It was the Harry and Saoirse sort of Jamie, Sophia one.
In fact, some of that, just because the way Harry works, like some of that was even improvised. Like the last scene was like, oh, it's Christmas and all that.
Yeah.
Like we had it scripted for him to be like, oh, I'm going home for Christmas, but then it's like, just when she goes, oh, have a good Christmas, he's like, oh, good
Him
Christmas.
playing off like the cheeky little lad.
Yeah, he's just he nailed it.
I didn't have any worries about letting you guys just improvise on camera. Like I knew we'd cast well, so if you did something, I was like, it will make sense, and obviously it worked. Yeah.
But the one thing we said from the start was, I could improvise, but it was kind of we wrote the script to put these signs across, so like I didn't improvise outside of lines. But what I tried to do as much, whenever it felt right, was because we did go for the comedy aspects of the scene. We took a lot of inspiration from the things like The Office and all that. So it was just kind of being in this role, but then also knowing that there's a camera crew there. Like these characters know they're being filmed non-stop, and it's not like it's not a person who doesn't know they're being filmed. It's like they're fully aware that there's a camera, there's a boom in their face the entire time. And it was like the one thing I tried to do as much as possible when it felt right was to be looking at them and like the whole, I wasn't saying he was gay, I just meant he was a bit short, was like saying to the camera like, oh God, like I'm being outed like to everyone now. It's like just always being aware that there's a camera in your face.
Yeah.
And that's the anxiety of it all as well. So like that's a massive part of depression, what we found from our research. A lot of it was considered, and there was the NHS symptoms, which you can look up if you are struggling, you've seen the film and you want some.
We've got them all at the end as well.
At the end, there's 4 organisations that is struggling or wants to find any help.
And we'll put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll put links in the description first. It's a really good idea.
But there was seven different symptoms that we really laid into Joel's character, and I sent you that Ivana Chubbuck.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
So she's got a 12-step acting methodology which I worked on for all the actors, and I think that really helped in getting like defining who David was and showing the audience that, because so many people loved his character, and you could just see from Joel, he's got a good smile. But
well, I'm not going to smile at the camera now, 'cause I'm embarrassed.
Go on.
Smile.
Stop it.
He's a flirt, isn't he? He's flirting with an iPhone. But yeah, no, I think that just sort of set David up to be this character that we all know and we all recognise, like in our friendship groups. There's always that one who's sort of easygoing, nice, friendly, and
on with it.
And yeah,
I think like the one word we always wanted to use to describe David was like lovely.
Lovely.
But the last person we need to talk about on our film was Saoirse, who
I love Saoirse. She's fantastic.
Oh my God. But the standout of that film, in my personal, I think everyone smashed it, but like
the thing that I think can't go unsaid for Saoirse was how well she improvised on camera in the character, particularly in her post-suicide talking head. Like we gave her a few lines and she spoke for about 15 minutes, and I don't know if I think we used 1 or 2 of the lines we wrote, but I think it was all pretty much her, like gold she was giving us.
As soon as you even looked at her, that shot of her.
Well, she was the opening. As soon as you saw her face, you knew exactly what had happened, and that's when that's when you hear, like, just when we're watching it with a massive group of people, that's when you heard the sniffling. Like, as soon as her face popped up, it was like, oh shit, like something really bad's happened now, and you could just tell from the get-go. Like, she nailed it. And the thing is, no one expected anything less, because she was in everyone's PRPs. Anyone who could get her had just, it was incredible. Like, she's,
I loved doing Rachel's PRP.
Yeah, I was in Rachel's, and it was, I don't want to say a horrible experience, but not one of my most fun, just because it was, nothing to do with Rachel. Like, she was great on camera, her idea was good, it was just the role for me, because Saoirse was playing a woman who was coming for not an interview, like, in the 40s, like the time when women weren't really working. So I had to play the obnoxious arsehole man in the office who was interviewing her. And there's a bit where, like, we're saying some horrible things, like, oh, just lift your skirt up for me, or maybe lose a few, like, squeeze your waist in. And there's a bit where I'm like, oh, just squeeze your waist in. And then my character used that opportunity to get a bit of a fondle, so I'm, like, doing that to her. And it was literally and cut. I was like, I'm really sorry, Saoirse, I'm really sorry, I don't like doing this, I'm really sorry. Like, it was just horrible. But, like,
what I did. Who was the husband at the start? He was...
I
was literally good about it.
I don't actually know.
He was a bit...
He wasn't great, though.
He was awful.
Like,
he was.
From that... I mean, the actual film was incredible, but I just remember that whoever that was coming on screen, and there just been a bit of a sigh. It was Matty. It was Matty. It was like everyone in that. Yeah, that was a really good one.
The whole screening was quality, wasn't it? Like,
yeah,
it was just so nice seeing everyone's work on the big screen, seeing our work on the big screen. Like, it's just like, ooh, hello, you.
As well, it was like when you say you compliment someone and they go, oh no, it wasn't all that, or people said before the screening that, oh, I'm not happy with my work, and you watched it and you were like, what are you saying? Because people say that about their work anyway.
Yeah.
But then when you actually see what different approach people were bringing, it was just nice to see the variety and the diversity.
I don't know if it sounds like big-headed or not, but I never once had that doubt about ours.
No,
I think as soon as because obviously we all spent time with you in the edit, and I think we'd all watched the film from the minute it was 26 minutes long to when it was 20. We'd all watched it multiple times, and I don't know. It is big headed to say, but I just think we made something really good.
It was a mini experience.
Yeah, it's a rare feeling for me to be this proud of work I've done, but I genuinely really like it, and It, like, that's one thing I said. It's obviously as the editor, I'd seen every frame of that film hundreds of times. I literally, it was the point where when other people were watching it with headphones, I could see it. I was like, I can talk along with this film if I have to right now.
Yeah.
So that was really nice seeing it in the screening with the atmosphere and everyone else laughing. I was enjoying the jokes again. I was genuinely finding all this stuff.
We were shitting ourselves at screening. Like, we were fine, and then we found out days before, there's going to be 6 films. There's going to be an interval. And then we're the first film back, and like, I was absolutely fine. And then the interval came up, and I was just a nervous wreck.
Well, yeah, I was buzzing, mate.
I was excited for people to see it, but I was
I'm not surprised you were buzzing, Matty.
when I knew what was coming, my stomach dropped.
Yeah.
When it was leading up to his bit, no, I loved watching it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I watched it as if it was the first time. But when it was leading up to your bit, my stomach dropped.
Yeah.
And I think
that was just that. In fact, that was what having it on the big screen was.
Oh, it's mental.
Weird. It was great, but it was weird.
You did. Well, we've not even spoke about him.
Don't need to. They've seen it. No, I've said this. I've said this to a few people, because it'll be stuff like afterwards when we're talking in the house and we've wrapped film because we filmed it all in our house. People are like, oh, how's it gone? I was like, yeah, it's gone really good. It was particularly after we did your pub piss scene and your suicide. And I was like, Joel has smashed this. Really just nailed it. And you finish it and you just drove it home. I don't think that can be understated how well you finished the film.
I think there is definitely a different. There's definitely a different type of piss as well. There's pub piss, there's home piss, out piss.
Oh yeah, there's 100% different type of piss.
Those were other lines that got laughs, and I think it was laughs of, that's funny because you're right. That
it's
is.
Like relatable humour, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the Gavin and Stacey's, the in-betweeners.
You can go out to a club or something and get steaming, come home and be out for all day and then all night. Then you can go to the pub, spend about 4 hours, sink a few and be absolutely done in and be even more drunk than what you would if you'd been on a night out.
Oh, have 4 pints and a couple of cocktails at the SU on said Friday night.
My favourite thing about Matty ordering drinks at the SU that night was he walked up, the bartender came to him.
Can I have a cocktail?
He was like, "Can I get 2 cocktails?" The bartender went, "Yeah, which ones?" He went, "Oh, I hadn't thought about that." What did you expect to happen?
I ended up doing. I did all right. I got some nice pink gin with prosecco in it. It was
Fantastic.
yeah.
I'd have done me in.
I love pink gin. It's the best thing to come out of. Well, I don't know if it even came out in 2018, but that's when I found it.
That's all that matters.
Love it first time.
Were there any like highlight moments that stuck out to you guys on set?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, what are some of your favourite moments?
I think one saying the relationship built up between the cast. I think it was because of us four and how the way we were. Like, obviously the Joe. Go on, Joe, sing it. The bit that we cut out.
We'll put it in the description.
Yeah, in the description.
We'll put it at the end of this
Still
podcast.
don't know where that came from. So basically, what happened was Joel. We called. Cameras were rolling. Sound was recording, and Joel just started singing. You just started singing a bit of Justin Timberlake for us all. And we were just like, I mean, we were going to go for a take, but I guess Joel's just decided to serenade us all. Yeah,
we joined in. Yeah, senorita.
Of course, it's Justin Timberlake.
I think just Paul being such a bright influence around us, really like,
Oh, you're all right. How's it going, mate? You're all right. Suck my friend. Come on.
Go and beat up a couple of Cockney bastards.
Like, I think that was obviously a big highlight, and that's why it almost went in the. That's the outtake where it almost went in the credits. But also just another Harry Thomas moment of he had the first line in his scene. Matty's director calls action, nothing, just silence. He's just sat there like that, and we're like, Harry, it's your line. He wakes up, or not wakes up, but looks up confused. Like,
He basically woke up. Like, he might as well have been asleep.
but he just looked up and went, "Oh, sorry, I thought you were joking." And then you could just hear you in the background like, "Oh, you thought he was joking when the director called action on set? What kind of sick joke is this?"
How very sick.
No, it was, I said this to my mum, and she was like, "Is that not quite sad?" I went, "Well, it's sad or not, it's true." I don't know that I'll ever work on a project that I'll enjoy as much as I did this one, because even if I work on better made films, they might not have as good subject matter. And even if they are a good subject matter, will they do comedy and drama as well, which I love doing? And if not, I don't think I'll ever have as much creative control on a film that I love with a group of people I get on so well with.
Do a few indies.
Yeah.
Do a few more indies.
That's it. Like,
Noticed with a lot of shows, they've been the best mates and they write it together, and that's why it's...
And we knew from the get-go we were going to have a lot of fun making the film. Like, whether we knew right from the start it was going to be or get as good as a reaction as it did, but we knew from the get-go, just because we were all so fine with each other, we knew we'd just have a good laugh, that we knew we were going to have fun. And then it's one of them. I think the reason we'll never have as much fun, or we may not ever have as much fun on a film, is because it's not going to be hours as much as this was. Like, we all sat, like, months before we started recording, we were sat in the library in the New Adelphi, and we just sat there and we wrote it. Like, sometimes we'd have days where we'd be there for about 3 hours and we'd have wrote about a line.
I think
but that just says a lot about us just having fun doing it.
Yeah, we had I'd say 3, maybe 4 few hour production meetings before we even started a Google Doc to make a script.
Yeah.
Like, it was all a lot of like coming up with ideas. I think characters, that was it. We all did our characters first, because we were always like, we want the characters. Yeah. It doesn't matter really what happens in the scenes. It's about the characters' relationships.
We knew very quick who we wanted.
Yeah.
And then it was like this character is them.
Decided in the first 2 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the day we found, the day me and you decided we were going to do this, I turned around and said, Harry Thomas.
Yeah.
Like, he has. If you want any kind of comedy in this film, and you want it to be guaranteed, you get him as one of the leads, because he'll just bring it.
Also,
especially if it's time to improvise.
Maybe the reason it was so good was because all of us here have done the comedy writing module. Maybe it's just a testament to Salford's teaching.
Shout out James. Not that James, different one.
Yeah, it was.
What do you want to say, Joe? What do you want to say?
Teaching wasn't that great.
I liked him,
I enjoyed the module. I had a really good time.
That's the module I actually met Harry and had a laugh with him. He was sat at the other side of the room and had said something, and I heard a laugh behind me, and I turned around and I was like, we got along good.
Well, I think because you weren't in my comedy class, but we were on the same comedy class, and that's where I met Harry. Yeah, but then we get a call from Edinburgh. Maybe that'll be.
Wi-Fi joke.
You are?
You've not had the Wi-Fi joke that's been going around.
No.
It's
Oh, is it the Scottish guy saying like, "You nicking my Wi-Fi"? That's
So boring.
Old that, mate.
Eh.
It's old. That's an app.
I know it's an app, yeah, but it's going around again. Someone tried to get me.
I sent that to you. That's what I did to you.
Did you?
Too sharp.
Yeah, it was.
I never answer my phone.
No, you did because you were there for ages. I don't. I won't have it saved now.
With a mum. You duck a
But then
fucking shite, disgusting.
I don't know many toilet jokes with my mum.
We met. Well, I met him on our comedy writing like lessons, and then we had a video project with him.
Yeah.
And Harry was just one of them where he was just given a character, and he was like, "Oh, how do you want me to look?" And they went, "Oh, we picture him as a goth," and then they gave Harry the makeup and like did everything about it to look like a goth, but then Harry just stayed himself.
Yeah. He was
just
another one in that
nailed it.
film. I don't think many people knew him at that point, but after his first few scenes in that, every time he came on screen, people were laughing. And that carried
Didn't
over to our
even
film.
speak.
Literally, he walked through the door and onto screen for the first time and people laughed.
That could have been the biggest laugh of the night, just
Maybe.
him walking on screen, because
I think-
everyone just expects him to be hilarious.
I think people just know Harry by now and they're excited to see what he'll do
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's just funny.
Just a funny,
Well, I was
lovable
sat
guy,
next to
isn't
him when we
That's
were
it.
watching the film, and every time people laughed at him, I'd look at him and he looks sort of like he's like, oh, and it just was like, you're funny.
Yeah, he'll never admit he's funny. He'll always be like, oh, no, or...
Yeah.
You're funny.
Probably bats off the compliments, doesn't he? He's going to love this podcast. He
will
doesn't
do.
have to bat off the compliments.
Yeah, I mean, you'll know if he's watched it.
I was
won't
about
you?
to say,
He'll be bigging himself up in the
if he
comments.
watches it.
We'll have to let him know, otherwise he won't watch it.
These two
Like, we'll
actually-
have to say to him, watch it, or else he won't.
I hope he's watched the other three.
Don't think he has.
I watched the film one.
I did say a bit before.
You
but,
are our average viewer of 10 minutes.
I was going to say, James does check statistics for anyone out there who's listening and wants to pretend to be a good friend.
But no, yeah, we're coming up to the hour mark, so should we wrap it up there then?
We've got 3 minutes to kill. What can we do?
Kill.
3
Got a game
minutes.
of rock, paper, scissors.
Alright, who's
Thank
gonna
you
get
for
through?
watching the midweek one.
Rock, paper, scissors. Right, you've done it wrong, mate. You got to go and go. I've just knocked the mic.
Yeah,
It pissed me off.
Can
Fucking call it quits.
This is a shit show.
We're
Have
done.
you got,
They're not-
has anyone got any more
it's-
points they want to throw out before we wrap this one up?
Thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure.
No, thank you for coming on.
I've got a point to make. Matty eats shit pot noodles.
Hang on. Alright, go on. What? Okay. So
Go on, start it. Go on.
I go for a Chinese chow mein. You know, I do. The blue one, I love it. And
Which one do you have,
pecan
Joel?
sauce as well.
What one do I go for? You got to go
Is it the beef
for the
and tomato
chicken.
one you
No,
have?
chicken and mushroom, mate. Of
Chicken and
course.
sauce is so average.
It's just...
Chicken and
It's so
mushroom or a
average.
Bombay bad boy?
What you...
Bombay Bad Boy is banging, I'll give you that.
Right. How?
Come on, James,
You
get
gonna-
on it. What
Go
are
on.
you?
I don't eat pot noodles.
Oh, there we
Tell
go.
you what,
here
There
he
we
is.
go then.
Figure
Have
of
you
hell.
had the super noodle pot noodles?
Oh,
Do you
they're
know what?
minging.
The chicken one's nice.
No, they're minging.
Mate, you need to
Wow.
get a grip. You're not coming on this show
I,
again.
I adore super noodles, but the super noodle pot noodles, they just don't do it for me. I'll tell you what though, best way to do a pot noodle, and this is absolute gold, right? Put cold water in, fill it up to the line, put it in the microwave 5 minutes. Oh my days.
I'll try that.
It is a different gravy. It is just...
It's a different gravy. Now, I tell you, what, before we finish, the most student thing I've ever done was in first year. I said the most student thing I've ever done. It was just grim. So I got super noodles, made like 3 packets, made all of them,
Quality.
cut up loads of spam, fried it all,
Oh, God.
threw it into the super noodles, then covered it in cheese, melted all the cheese over it. Best meal of my life.
I did actually used to eat.
And if there's no way to finish a podcast, that's it.
Well, I was going to say, like,
I'll have that.
that felt a bit off topic about the pot noodles, but that conversation is exactly the kind of thing where the whole food scene in the film came from, and that's why we wanted to put
that
it in.
argument came on set, and I was fuming. And
No, I
it
mean, that
launched
idea
his
of
chow mein across the room.
But no, we have been given the message saying that we need to wrap this one up. So yeah, Matty, Paul, thank you so much for coming on. Really
Cheers,
appreciate
boys.
it.
Thank you.
Sure, we can might have them back on again. We'll see. See if
We might
Matty.
have him back on with this shit pot
Do a
noodle
Marvel
choices.
one. I'll come on for that.
We'll see. No, we probably will. To be fair.
Oh.
Do it near the release of Endgame. You know, to celebrate. Can review
Sneak
phase
preview.
Samuel
3.
Beckett.
What?
Samuel Beckett.
What about
Endgame.
Endgame? No. Thank you.
Right, you know
It's been a
what?
pleasure
We had a
to work.
shit show to the start of the last podcast. The end of this podcast has been an even bigger shit show. So
I'm going to wrap it up now. I'm calling it. Thank you everyone for watching. Cheers.
Thank
See you again
you.
next time.
Bye.
Next week. Bye.